The following is a presentation of the Big Ten Conference.
Ever wonder what it takes to make a hit? You know, the kind that'll leave them wanting more. It ain't enough just to show up. Nah, you gotta put that work in.
Deep front, lock in. Let's go, baby.
Every bar, every beat, made with precision. Nah, run it again from the T.O.P. Precision. Take after take after take. You gotta make them feel that fire that they can't see. That heartbeat that they can't hear. The ice in your veins.
Under pressure, and he goes down. Woo! Get out of my way.
Prove why you the one they listen to. Why you deserve to be number one. Number one.
Nice big hole, he's gone. Boom! How do you like our offense?
Today, two squads are giving us their best tape. Ready to show who runs this game.
And he breaks away. Touchdown, Northwestern. My goodness, what a throw. Are you kidding me? Touchdown, Oregon.
So you better come correct, fellas, because there's only room for one of y'all at the top.
Delivery to kickoff, sponsored by Wendy's. Get $0 delivery on Saturdays in the Wendy's app. And that was Grammy-nominated, multi-platinum recording artist Offset. His latest album, Chiari, out now on Motown Records. And he recently lit up The Tonight Show starring Jimmy Fallon with the performance of his hit single, Bodies, alongside J.I.D. By the way, a quick shout out to all the great people at Northwestern University. They've been incredible hosts. The people behind the scenes here today fighting through the lightning and the rain. And then these fans behind us have been immense. Thank you guys so much for coming on out here today. And yeah, we are just minutes away from kick inside this unique setting that is Martin Field. Behind us, Lake Michigan, just a Brady Quinn deep ball away from us, just right over there. It is such a gorgeous setting for college football. Oregon, they have been knocking at the door of a national title, coming up painfully short a few times, including a loss in last year's college football playoff quarterfinal against the #1 ranked team in the country, the Ohio State Buckeyes. And what Oregon has done lately reminds Mark of his freshman and sophomore years in Tuscaloosa.
Just like Oregon. I remember my freshman year. I could directly relate to this. We went 12-0, and we went to the SEC championship game, Coach Myers Gators. We lost to them. We watched them go on to win the national championship. It motivated us. We learned that how to finish games. The next year, we went 14-0, won the national championship. I won the Heisman. So last year, Oregon, they went undefeated, won the Big Ten title, but in the game that mattered the most in the playoffs, they lost to Ohio State. And they watched them go win the national championship. This year, it is their year. They know how to win. They believe they can win. They know they're supposed to be here.
Hey, Matt, to win a national championship, there's no way around it. You have to win the line of scrimmage. We played at Ohio State. We played Oregon in the national title. Historically, the Pac-12 back in the day had smaller linemen. They had great skill. We played Oregon. They had great skill, but so did we. We knew we could dominate them at the line of scrimmage. That was the history. That has all changed with the 2025 Oregon team. How about this, Matt? They had in 14 only 10 guys over 300 pounds. They have 25 now. Average weight of the interior D and O linemen in 14, 300. Now it's 325 pounds. Wow. They are big cats inside the interior and offensive defensive line.
And they're good. This all stems from Dan Lanning, his personality. He's injected a toughness around this culture. I would have loved to play for this guy. He's outstanding. And everything we've talked about, the ingredients of a great football team. Can you win at the line of scrimmage? Can you win a track meet? Do you have a quarterback? Do you have the talent, Brady? They got it all, man.
They do. When you talk about culture, I mean, look, 18 new starters this year. It doesn't feel that way when you watch this team just because of how good they are. 4 new starters on the offensive line, dominant, have protected their quarterback. Defensively, a few pieces coming back, but the rest, they have been dominant so far. So credit to Dan Lanning and his staff, but this team is special. If I had money right now I was going to put on a team, it'd be Oregon.
Yep. And we've spent a lot of time talking about Oregon. Listen, we know Northwestern are heavy underdogs coming into this one. Let me just remind you, this is college football. Go back last year, number 5 Notre Dame lost to a 28-point underdog in Northern Illinois. I'm sorry. That's all right. I'm going to take a shot at him too. Vanderbilt stunned number 1 Alabama, who were 23-point favorites. And then here in the Big Ten, of course, sorry, Coach, Michigan slapped number 2 Ohio State, despite the Buckeyes being favored big time. Stone, the quarterback for Northwestern, as the Wildcats look for a massive upset today.
Well, 5 turnovers in that loss to Tulane. If he can figure out a way of taking care of the football, relying on Griffin Wilde on the outside, the transfer wide receiver has been a leading receiver. They'll have a shot.
And there's Dan Lanning. He'll tell you this is a physical team with incredible talent at the skill spots. The Ducks are in the midst of a season that could very well end with their first national title. It's the Ducks and the Wildcats, and it's live on Fox. We take you inside Martin Stadium for the call. Gus Johnson and Joel Klatt. Guys.
Big Noon Saturday is sponsored by AT&T Business. Connecting changes everything. From Martin Stadium here in Evanston, Illinois, we've got the number 4 ranked team in the nation in town, Oregon, ready to take on a scrappy bunch of Wildcats from Northwestern. Hi, everybody. I'm Gus Johnson along with my quarterback, Joel Klatt, and welcome to Evanston, folks. Let's start with Oregon. What a season they had last year. They won the Big Ten regular season, the Big Ten championship, advanced to the college football playoffs. This year, they lose their quarterback, Dylan Gabriel. He left. He's with the Cleveland Browns. They've got a new quarterback, who, by the way, folks, is from Detroit. Dante Moore.
I knew you'd get that. That's right. That's right. I love this guy's talent, man. I've been looking forward to covering this team and more specifically this quarterback for a long time. Dante Moore looks like he's going to be the next elite quarterback in our sport. He's got a great arm. He can threaten every blade of grass. They're talented just like a lot of Ducks teams have been. But I got to tell you, it's not why I love this team. It's their defense, and they're big in the middle, just like the teams that can go a long way in college football. Huge, great talent on the outside. This defense is for real. This Ducks team is for real.
As for Northwestern, they struggled in their opener at Tulane, but bounced back the next week. They have a new starting quarterback as well, coming from SMU.
I love Preston Stone's leadership. He was a multi-year captain at SMU, comes in, he's a captain in his first year here with the Wildcats. As Brady just told you there on Big Noon Kickoff, he struggled with turnovers in his first game against Tulane. He was much better last week in a win for Northwestern. He has to take care of the football so they can hold the ball, shorten the game, and keep it away from the explosive Ducks if Northwestern wants to have the upset here on their home stadium. By the way, how cool is this?
Oh, this is the best.
This is pretty cool,
We got a
man.
nice piece of video to show you in a second, folks. Meanwhile, talking about captains, time now to join our captain, third member of our team, on the sideline. We call her the AAG, the All-American Girl, Jenny Tabb.
Well, guys, thank you. And as you guys pointed out, look, Oregon has made it look easy the first 2 weeks of the season, scoring a total of 128 points on offense. I asked Coach Lanning, what is the secret? And he said strength in numbers. Right now, he has so many good players, and he is not afraid to use them. 77 guys played against Montana State, 81 against Oklahoma State, and a lot of that depth is actually in the running back room. Oregon lists 7 backs on their depth chart. 6-year leader Noah Whittington, who is actually listed as questionable today, told me the same thing. Strength in numbers. There are no egos. It's that next man up mentality because everyone has the same goal on this team. So what is the secret? How does Coach Lanning recruit his kind of guys? He said, Jenny, a lot of ways it is luck, but I have a group of selfless, self-driven players who all have the same goal. It is about the O on the front of the jersey, never about the name on the back, and that mentality should be on display today, Gus.
All right, thank you very much, Jenny. Great weather right now, folks, but it didn't start like that this morning. 68 degrees, nice and cool. Sun trying to poke out here on the banks of Lake Michigan. But check out what happened earlier this morning.
I love that dive.
You think you could do that? Would you do that again?
I mean, I kind of want to do it in my suit.
That's right.
You know?
That's right. All right, so Northwestern wins the toss. They deferred. Oregon will receive the football. And I don't know, for Oregon, they may not be used to playing in rainy type weather because it never rains at Autzen Stadium.
Ever. They've told me that reliably.
Never has ever. Northwestern. Oregon. Jaden Lamar back deep. And here we go from Evanston. This one into the end zone, and that will bring out Dante Moore. Joel, they say he has instincts you can't teach. Elite arm, moxie, and brilliance.
That ability to be a great detailed player from a schematic standpoint allows him to anticipate well. And I'm telling you, his arm is fantastic. This is a direction where they're going against the wind, but I'm just telling you, every time you watch Oregon on film in the first 2, 3, 4 plays, they like to dial up something and take a shot down the field, get creative. I would imagine we're going to see that here early in this game.
First down and 10 at the 25. Moore, the transfer from UCLA, went to Martin Luther King High School in Detroit, a powerhouse, and they'll run it on first down with Lamar. Pyle being pushed forward, and he'll pick up 7 on the play.
Well, this Oregon offensive line is a big group up front, and they've got a deep stable of backs like Jenny just talked about. Lamar is getting the first carry here. He's developed really nice as a guy that's been in the program for a few years.
Second down and 3 at the 32. Remember, Moore has elite arm talent. Moore over the middle, looking for the first down, and they find Jaden Lamar, and he leans forward close as Bruss comes up with the tackle.
Well, this offensive line is massive up front. 3 transfers: Isaiah World, Emmanuel Pregnon, Alex Harkey, all coming in. Rebuilt offensive line. On the outside, they have got incredible skill. DeCorian Moore, the true freshman, he's fabulous. And then watch out for Kenyon Sadiq, this tight end. Gus, you're going to love him. He's athletic. He's tough in the run game. I think he's the best tight end in the country.
Some people feel that he's a smaller version of our Gronk, or Tom Brady's Gronk, excuse me. Third down and 1 at the 34, and the Ducks will pick up the first down. Defensively, let's take a look at Northwestern.
Well, this defensive line is going to have to play great. Their best player is up front, Anto Saka, number 4. I think he's probably a first-round draft pick next spring. Carmine Bastone, a former walk-on, he's in there in the middle. Is a defense that likes to layer themselves and not give up big plays, and that's something that they're going to have to hang their hat on here today.
First down and 10 at the 39. For Dante Moore in Oregon. Here's a quick strike near side, and it's Zachariah Moore. Turns it up, picks up a first down and a little bit more as he gains 11 on the play. Moore scored his first touchdown of his career last week against Oklahoma State, a 65-yard touchdown reception.
Watch out here, they went fast. Something's up.
First down at midfield, play fake. Dante Moore sets up over the middle and incomplete. DeCorian Moore the target.
That's a good coverage by their safeties, not fooled by that play action pass. They were trying to take a shot right down the middle of the field, and they're unable to get it. So right here, the safety, he's going to do a nice job staying deep, eyes on the wide receiver. He gets the crossing route. The corner goes with the deep post. Dante Moore tried to check that ball down over the middle to his third man in the progression, but just out of his reach.
Second down and 10 at midfield. Opening series, and they'll hand it off. Lamar around the corner. Oh, and he is gobbled up and just pile-driven. Josh Fussell. You like that aggression from the Wildcats.
What a great opportunity here early in this game. You know, there's not been many punts out of this first unit for the offense for the Oregon Ducks, and not many 3rd and longs. Dan Lanning has been wondering when he was going to face adversity. A little bit of an adversity here. David Braun and his group forcing a 3rd and long.
3rd down and 9 at the 49. Late substitution for Northwestern. Dante Moore off his back foot, rolling, in trouble, dumps it off. They won't pick it up. Davison with the reception, no gain, and it looks like Oregon will have to punt it away. Well done by Northwestern as Aiden Hubbard comes up and makes a tackle.
The secondary does a great job here because you're going to get a few crossing routes. You're going to get some of these stop routes, a corner out there on the outside. Heavy zone coverage, and then what you get is these guys getting their eyes back in the backfield. Nobody is open down the field for Dante Moore.
So Oregon will send it away. Ferguson Reynolds will punt it. Drew Wagner, the deep man. Line drive. And it will die inside the 15 and roll out of bounds. Oh no, roll inside the 10. A 40-yard punt. Time for today's game flow, sponsored by Progressive. Martin Stadium. 2nd season for Northwestern here. They'll move into the big one next year. And welcome back to Evanston. We're ready for the Northwestern Wildcats to take the field on offense, and their quarterback, Preston Stone.
Like I said, Stone is a terrific leader, and he's just settling into this offense. Against Tulane, he predetermined a lot of his throws, and that got him in trouble. They said they want him to just work through the offense, utilize the system, and don't predetermine where you want to throw the football. He did a much better job of that last week in a win, and he's going to need to continue that here today.
So Northwestern will start from their own 10-yard line. 1st down. Kamo Kamalafe in the backfield with Stone. Play fake on 1st down. Rips it underneath, and it's caught. That's a nice throw as Griffin Wildy, their best receiver, makes the catch. Let's take a look at the Cats on O.
Well, up front, this is an offensive line that's going to have to really hold up against a really big interior for Oregon. On the outside, Griffin Wildy just caught that first pass. He's their most experienced wide receiver, although that experience happened at South Dakota State. He transfers in. He's had at least 5 catches in each of the first 2 ball games, number 17. He's really their go-to guy.
2nd down and 2 at the 18 after the 8-yard reception. Kamalafe is the pistol back. He'll run left this time and pick up the 1st down. Unfortunately, Cam Porter not in the lineup for Northwestern, hurt last week defensively for Oregon.
Well, this defense, like I've been saying, extremely big right in the middle with Washington and Gray, both 330 pounds. Good edge players led by Uyunglele, number 10. In the back end, Bryce Betcher, he's a guy that is a 2-sport athlete, really good baseball player. He's on the field, a former walk-on, and then a really young secondary. A couple of freshmen out at corner, but really talented and long players.
1st down at the 22. Play fake. Stone rolling out of the pocket, taking his time, now turns it up, and he'll step out of bounds at the line of scrimmage.
You know, it's interesting. Dylan Thieneman comes in as a transfer from Purdue, the safety number 31, and watch how they're playing him. Look at Dylan Thieneman. He's down low, and then their linebackers are split way apart. You know, that's very similar to the way Ohio State plays with Caleb Downs. That tells you exactly how high Oregon thinks of their transfer safety, Dylan Thieneman.
2nd down and 10 at the 22. Kamalafe gets through the hole and picks up a chunk as he goes down at the 30, an 8-yard gain. Aaron Flowers defensively for the Ducks.
Gus, the blueprint here for Northwestern is going to be hold the football, long drives, huddle up, take forever in the huddle. But the most important part of this blueprint to upset the Ducks is going to be convert on 3rd and manageable. They've got one of those here. They're holding in the huddle, taking some time. David Braun knows they've got to get pushed with their offensive line here.
3rd down 2 at the 30. A 1st down here will be a great confidence builder for Northwestern, and they'll get it. Kamalafe again. Terrence Green with the tackle. 1st down, gain of 4.
You're going to get a lot of Caleb Kamalafe, Joseph Hyman at back. Really good players, not the experience of the injured Cam Porter, Gus, like you were talking about, but right there, a nice tough run from Komolafe. He's 210 pounds, so he's got some oomph there as he's trying to get that line to gain, which he did.
From Katy, Texas, first down at the 34. Hyman in the game now. Hyman running right. And talking to the defensive coaches for Northwestern yesterday, they said, if we can get out of the first quarter, this is going to be a game.
Well, Oregon has been so explosive in the first quarter in each of their first 2 wins. In particular, last week against Oklahoma State, they came out just gangbusters. They had 2 touchdowns in their first 4 snaps offensively. And David Braun knew. He's like, listen, we just have to weather the storm. We've got to play great in the first quarter and then look up, and we'll go from there. And they're certainly doing that on these opening 2 series.
5 straight runs for Northwestern, 2nd and 6. Wildcats trying to establish their physicality early, but empty backfield for Stone. Stone surveys over the middle, incomplete. That one deflected. Looks like Betcher gets a hand on it.
That's those center fielder moves. So he's a center fielder for the Oregon Ducks. Drafted player, 13th round by the Astros. Look at him just read the eyes of the quarterback, jump in front of that pass, almost picked it off, and comes up with a big 3rd down now.
He was a 13th rounder. You were an 11th rounder, right?
He's probably better than me.
I don't know.
Gus, I flamed out pretty quick, man.
Your numbers tell you who you are. 3rd down and 6.
Don't look at mine. Don't look at it.
At the 38. And Komolafe diving. He may have another first down. Smash mouth football right now for Northwestern. Gain of 6. First down, Wildcats.
They're trying to go quickly because they don't want them to review this. No, they're not going to get it off. The officials are going to stop that. I thought it was close. He certainly looked like he was close to that line to gain, didn't he?
Yes. That line unofficial.
After review, the ruling on the field has been changed. The runner was down short of the line to gain. It'll be 4th down.
Here's where he needs to get to. He needs to get to the 44-yard line. And as Komolafe gets a nice hole right there, and as he's trying to reach for that, he's going to be down right see his forearm went down first. As soon as that forearm elbow went down, he was a bit short. And now the question of, do you go or do you not? Your own side of the 50. Gus, offense still on the field. Here we go, David Braun.
He told us yesterday.
He told us yesterday, I'm going to be aggressive, and here we go.
4th down and 1 at their own 43. Komolafe in the backfield. Oh, quick snap and a first down. Some trickery. And that was Lawson Albright, the tight end.
Beautiful little motion right here from Albright. He just comes in, and then now the defensive line can't stack themselves close together to prevent the sneak, and the tight end is able to lean forward. By the way, you look at Albright, he's 6'5", 250 pounds. David Braun, that aggressiveness paid off there.
So a first down for Northwestern. This drive starting at their own 10-yard line. They swing it out. Looks like it's a pass down the field and incomplete. Frank Covey was looking for Joe Hyman.
Frank Covey's pass is incomplete.
Man, that was good coverage because they got up to the line fairly quick after that first down. You got to give Ife Obadego a great tip of the cap there because he did not bite on that first pass at all, and he was in a position, the redshirt freshman, to possibly spin around and intercept that ball.
Brings up 2nd down and 10 at the 46. Hyman stays in the game at running back. They'll give it to him straight ahead.
Wow, they are running it great. The push from that offensive line, Gus, has been really strong so far. This offensive line doing some work against that big interior for Oregon. Watch them just power through here. Here's Hyman. Now, he's the lighter of the two backs, only 190 pounds, but you just see the push. He keeps his legs moving forward and creates one of these manageable situations.
Hyman last week, 40 yards on 8 carries. He also caught it 2 times for 15. From Little Rock, Arkansas, 3rd and 3. Can they keep the chains moving? They'll run it. Hyman, not this time. He won't get it, but there is a flag.
Boy, this would be really bad if it's against Northwestern, because then it takes them out of the ability to be aggressive on 4th down. I wondered if they were aligned properly. If I'm Dan Lanning, I would accept this penalty, because if he declines this, Northwestern will go for it on 4th down.
Illegal formation, offense, 5 players in the backfield, 5-yard penalty, 3rd down.
So he did not decline the penalty.
So just lined up, you see right here, you needed one of these guys on this side to be on the line of scrimmage. They were not, because of that tight end who is just back a little bit. There's the tight end that was back off the line of scrimmage.
So that makes it 3rd down and 8. Opening drive for Northwestern. They've been eating up a lot of clock here in the first quarter. Their short-term goal to get out of the first quarter unscathed. Stone over the middle and intercepted. Betcher spinning. Betcher down inside the Northwestern 25. Griffin Wilde with the saving tackle.
Well, if you're going to throw it over the middle, you have got to put the ball on the body of the wide receiver, the frame of the wide receiver. If it's too hard and too high, it gets tipped. And how about Betcher's hands, showing the hands of a baseball player right there. Tipped the ball into the hands of the middle linebacker, and the Ducks will have it inside of their 25-yard line. What a play. Maybe get away with a little grab right there on defense, turning the wide receiver. Certainly could have seen a flag out right there, but again, it's about the ball placement. In the quarterback room, Gus, they would say frame him up. The ball has to be on the frame, below the chin if you're throwing it tight over the middle. And Oregon gets the tip ball. Betcher, the interception.
So Dante Moore now, and the Ducks will start from the Wildcat 23-yard line. Luke Moga has checked in at quarterback, and he'll run it on 1st down and pick up a couple. Carmine Bastone with the tackle defensively for Northwestern.
I mean, think back to that offensive series. You know, yeah, the pick is not what you want, but really the mistake was on the 3rd down prior, not lining up properly. Pushes them back. Now they get pushed into position where they need to throw the football. It gets picked off, and now Oregon back on the field.
2nd and 8 at the 21. Empty backfield for Dante Moore. Lamar motions. They give it to him. Cuts it back. Nice run. 1st down. High stepping. Jade Lamar had a nice game last week. 6 carries, 87 yards, and a touchdown. Gains 12.
That 87 yards last week against Oklahoma State was his career high. He was a 4-star recruit, has been in the program for a couple of years, and they just can't keep him off the field. Does everything right.
1st down and goal at the Northwestern 9. Moore, far side, gobbled up. This time, it's Moore, turns it up, and he'll get out of bounds inside the 5-yard line. A 6-yard gain.
That is a lot of work for a 6-yard gain. First of all, the ball placement is too low, so Moore has to go down to the ground, but watch the elusiveness. First, the spin out of the first tackle, now the jump stop, and he's able to still move forward and try to get to that pylon. I tell you, he touches the ball, you can just see he's electric.
5-star recruit and the #1 receiver in his class by 3 different organizations. Out of Duncanville, Texas. Here's the run, the push, and the Ducks will not get in. 1-yard gain. And that will bring up 3rd down and goal. What a victory it will be for Northwestern if they can hold Oregon to a field goal.
I think they would have to push him back a little bit because David Braun wants to be aggressive, but we know Dan Lanning is aggressive. I think this is 2 downs to score right here for the Ducks.
Out of the I formation, now they shift out of it. Lamar, the single setback. They pitch it to him. Easy, breezy, lemon squeezy. Touchdown, Jaden Lamar. The misdirection fooled everybody in purple.
Northwestern gets caught in the man coverage, so you're going to get the motion from the Oregon tight end right here. It drags one of the defensive backs out. Now the linebacker is in conflict, and he just doesn't react as Lamar takes it easily in for the touchdown.
Atticus Sappington in for the extra point. And it's good. Ducks capitalize on the turnover. 5 plays, 23 yards. 7-0. 7-0 Oregon. Capitalizing off the Betcher interception. Ducks drive down Dante Moore. I've been waiting to watch this kid. I've been hearing about this kid, Dante Moore, since he was in high school at King.
Well, they do. I mean, there's so many good players that come out of Detroit.
You know, the most players in the NFL come out of Detroit, Michigan. I just want to let you know that. Here's the return. Hyman. Nice run. Bounces it outside. And Northwestern will have great field position. The kicker, Spaddington, kicking him, knocking him out of play. A 39-yard run. Let's see what Northwestern can do coming up after this. The Dr. Pepper tuition giveaway is back, helping students chase their dreams. Enter before September 30th at the QR code below. Martin Stadium here in Evanston. Capacity 12,000. This is their temporary stadium until they move in to the big one next year. We'll tell you about that as this game goes on. Gain of 2 now for Kamalafe. Northwestern ready to invest big-time money in their football stadium. $800 million, I heard.
Ryan Field is going to be amazing. It'll be a beautiful venue, and I think they're doing it the right way. It'll be just over about 35,000 seats, which I think is perfect for this program. Create an intimate environment that they feel like they can fill up on a more consistent basis, and hopefully a place that we can come back to every single year.
No doubt about it. 2nd down and 8 at the 47. Stone bouncing in the pocket. Nobody there. I don't know what that was, Joel. It looks like he may have been trying to set up a screen.
Well, I think he's trying to take a shot down the field. The coverage was tremendous, and the check down from Hyman just never really got out, or excuse me, from Kamalafe. Kamalafe should have just batted this one to the turf. Because he caught that ball, it backs him up now. So they're going to lose those 4 yards. This becomes a much longer 3rd down opportunity for Northwestern, and this is when you start looking at the pass rushers. Mateo Uyunglele, number 10, probably the premier pass rusher in this conference. He's the end near side for Oregon.
Loss of 6 on the last play. 3rd and 14. Stone. Sideline. Incomplete.
Stone's pass is incomplete, intended for
Carson Grove, the target. And the Cats will have to punt it away.
Yeah, this is a team that's going to have to stay on schedule, and it starts on 1st down. And as soon as Oregon stopped that 1st down run, now they're behind schedule. They've got to throw the football, and it doesn't work out, and they're going to have to punt it away. Good defensive series there from the Ducks.
Luke Akers, the punter, stands at his own 26. Gary Bryant Jr. back deep, ready to return at his own 10. Akers pops it in the air. Into the end zone for a touchback. So when we come back, Dante Moore and the Oregon offense on the field. It's a game we've all been waiting for. Philly KC in the Super Bowl rematch. Saquon leads the defending champion Eagles against Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs. America's game of the week tomorrow at 4 Eastern on Fox. First down and 10 to the 20.
How are your Lions looking?
We struggled a little bit week 1 against Green Bay, but we'll be all right. 5 new coaches, 3 new interior linemen. Just takes a little time. We'll be fine. I hope. Hughes in the backfield. Play fake. Moore drops it off. And this time it's caught by Jeremiah McClellan, but he goes down quickly. Hubbard with pressure. 1-yard gain.
See if they try to get another snap here in the next 16 seconds. Yeah, it looks like they're going to be up at the line of scrimmage and get another crack at it here in the first quarter.
Second down and 9 at the 20.
Maybe not.
Okay, that'll take us to the end of the first quarter. If you're Northwestern, you're happy with this result. 7-0 Oregon. Back for the second after this.
Well, Coach, a huge play from Betcher on defense. Your offense takes advantage. How would you evaluate your start?
We're playing hard. They've got a great plan. They're eating up a lot of clock. They're going to limit our possessions. We got to take advantage of the ones that we have, right? We got to stop the run on defense. It's a big piece. They've established that. We got to take it away.
Thanks for the time.
Appreciate it.
What a great young coach. Man, what a great selection by Oregon, hiring Dan Lanning, only 39 years old. Second and 10 at the 20. Dante Moore over the middle, and it's caught. This time, Cooper Perry. What makes him such a great coach?
Well, he's got, number one, abundant energy, and he also has clarity of vision and purpose. He knows exactly what it's supposed to look like to go win a national championship. He was a GA at Alabama when they won it all. He was the defensive coordinator at Georgia for Kirby Smart when they won it all. So he knows what it looks like, and he knows what he wants to create. So I think it's that. It's his abundant energy and clear vision, clarity of purpose. I think that's what makes him so good.
Third down and 2 at the 28-yard line. Hughes looking for the first, and he has it. I tell you, we've had a chance to be around Coach Lanning over the last few years, and he has an infectious personality. You just want to listen to him and be around him.
And think about the guys that he's learned from and was around. When he was a GA on that national championship team under Nick Saban, Lane Kiffin's on that staff. Kirby Smart, Mario Cristobal, Billy Napier, his coordinator on defense now, Tosh Lapoy. Mel Tucker was on that staff. I mean, littered with guys that would go on to be head coaches.
First down and 10 at the 33. Play fake. Moore sets up a backside screen. Caught by Sadiq. Here's the young man everybody's talking about. Kenyon Sadiq from Idaho Falls, Idaho. They say he has the opportunity to be a great one.
Yeah, he sure does. And I tell you, it's his ability to receive, certainly. He's got soft hands, he's fast, he runs good routes. But I think what sets him apart is that I think he's the best blocking tight end in the Big Ten, maybe in the country. So it's that combination that makes people compare him to Gronk. He's not the stature of Gronk, but Gronk was a great blocker and a great receiver, and that's exactly what Kenyon Sadiq is as well.
Gain of 11, first down and 10 at the 44. And they'll hand it off straight ahead. And it's Jay Harris. Think about Gronk. Sadiq is listed at, what, 6'3", 245. Gronk was 6'6", 6'7", 265.
He was huge, obviously. Watch Sadiq here. This is what I'm talking about. See 18, he gets in there. Watch him finish the block. Look at how aggressive he is. Pancakes his defender right there. It's that aggressiveness, urgency, and physicality in the run game that sets him apart as a tight end.
Second down and 8 at the 46. Moore, delayed handoff. Jay Harris gets through the hole, picks up a first down, and more power running. Harris, 6'2", 224 from St. Louis. and he'll gain 17.
Yeah, it's pretty clear Northwestern wants to take away the downfield passing attack from Oregon, and so they're going to have to do it a different way, and Will Stein, the offensive coordinator, has leaned into that. This defense for Northwestern, this is the way it's constructed, Gus, with layers, and they want to maintain those layers of defense, defensive line, linebackers, and safeties, and make the opposing offense earn their way down the field. There's the layers there.
First down at the 38. Moore steps into his throw down the field. Incomplete. That time the ball intended for Malik Benson. Josh Fussell in coverage.
Yeah, Fussell is a guy that the coaching staff really raved about to me during the course of the week, number 13. And here you're trying to isolate on the outside and get your wide receiver down the field. Malik Benson just can't come up with it. Really good coverage right there for Josh Fussell. Feet just kind of slipped out from under it.
Remember, it rained heavily earlier today. Second down and 10 at the 38-yard line. Jaden Lamar and his running back. Moore bounces out of the pocket and completes it to DeCorian Moore. A gain of 11 and a first down.
Gosh, DeCorian Moore. Dante is smooth, but DeCorian is also smooth. He reminds me, and Will Stein brought this up. Will Stein, the offensive coordinator, was the play caller at Lake Travis High School in Texas. Early in his career, he coached a guy there at Lake Travis named Garrett Wilson. And Will Stein says, DeCorian Moore reminds me a lot of my former receiver at Lake Travis, Garrett Wilson.
As you take a look at the current drive, 8 plays, they dump it off near side, Perry. And Perry tackled behind the line of scrimmage. Well done, John Stevens Jr.
This is a really talented true freshman, John Stevens. He was the first commit for Brom in that 25 class last spring. And they are very high on him. Guess where he's from, Gus?
Yes.
Columbus, Ohio.
Uh-oh.
They went out and stole him, and he has been a really good addition for them early in this season.
How did Ryan Day let that happen? Second down and 11 at the 28. Lamar burst. Oh, beautiful tackle. As Robert Fitzgerald came up and made the hit, 4-yard gain. Lamar looks like he could have bounced that one for big yardage.
It was a great tackle from Fitzgerald, wasn't it? I mean, he got that leg and just held on. And that's exactly what they wanted to do, is tackle well in space, and brings up a big third down here.
They need 7. At the Northwestern 24.
It looks like they're in straight man coverage. And Oregon's going to change the play. Watch out for Sadiq here. I bet you they like their matchup with their tight end in the middle of the field.
Dante Moore. Sideline. Incomplete. Moore, DeCorian, the target. Once again, it's Josh Fussell from Cincinnati with the defensive play.
Good battle out on the outside, forcing him there, and it looked like Moore had a chance at that ball, trying to get that left foot in, but can't control the catch. Fussell, another pass breakup. That's 2 on that series.
So Atticus Sappington comes in, and
Gus, that wind is moving left, and he missed several to the left in warm-ups when I was watching him. Just something to watch out for.
This one from 42 yards away. Clean snap, good hold, and good. Sappington knocks down a 42-yarder. Oregon takes a 10-0 lead on the road here in Evanston. Big Noon Saturday is sponsored by AT&T Business. Connecting changes everything. That's a beautiful shot of Lake Michigan. And as a Detroiter, you know what we say to people from Chicago about Lake Michigan?
What's that?
We say, we allow you to drink our water. We should put a tariff on that, but that's another story.
Oh,
10-0. That's it. 10-0 Oregon. Northwestern needing to respond now. 9:28 to go in the second, and this one out of bounds.
Pacific Life Game Summary sponsored by Pacific Life, building confident futures for nearly 160 years. Well, Dante Moore, highly acclaimed quarterback, former 5-star, 9 of 12 for 49 yards. It was the Betcher interception, though, for Oregon that set their offense up for their touchdown. Northwestern has been doing what they needed to do in terms of draining the clock. However, a penalty before the interception pushed them back and unable to do anything on their last series. So this is a big series here for Northwestern, as they've got this 10-0 deficit against this very powerful Oregon Duck team.
First down to the 25 for Preston Stone, the SMU transfer. Stone. Sideline throw, caught. And it's Hyman out of the backfield. They'll get close to the first down. Gains about 7 on the play.
Yeah, and this is the most important part, is that first down play. Every set of downs, the most important snap for Northwestern is first down, because they can't play behind schedule. So this is perfect. 2nd and 3. They probably feel like they've got 2, maybe even 3 more snaps to get these 3 yards. And you got to feel good about that, in particular with the way that they've run the ball.
Self-inflicted wounds.
Full start. Offense, number 60. 5-yard penalty. 2nd down.
This is exactly what their offensive coordinator, Zach Lujan, was telling us. They cannot move backwards on their own accord. Negative plays and penalties. Here, just trying to get a little bit of a false clap from the quarterback to get the defense to move into their final structure. There's Zach Lujan, the offensive coordinator, young guy, 2nd year here at Northwestern. But certainly getting backed up like this is not what he wants to see.
2nd and 8. Hyman, big hole, and a first down. That offensive line creating space for Hyman, and he'll gain 9.
Yeah, I tell you what, this offensive line is doing a heck of a job. You're going to get good movement right here on that double team, and that's where Hyman just takes off right down the middle of the field. I'm surprised that Dan Lanning and Tosh LeBoy on defense for Oregon have not adjusted and dropped a safety down, because it's pretty clear that Northwestern has been able to run the football with their safeties off. So we'll see if they go heavy man coverage here in the next few snaps.
First down at the 36. Play fake. Stone rolls, dumps it off. Caught. It's his tight end, Welching. And he'll pick up another first down, getting close to midfield. A gain of 12.
It's exactly what's so important about establishing the run game. Now you can get these run action passes off of it. Run action over here, quarterback comes this way, and then the tight end is just wide open as that play side defender, number 9, Blake Purchase, is in conflict. What does he do? Does he stay with the tight end? Does he go defend the quarterback? He chooses the quarterback. Stone drops it off for another first down.
That was the longest play from scrimmage for Northwestern today, 12 yards. First down at the 48. Clock still ticking. Again, Stone lost the ball. And he'll recover it. But it's a loss of 18 yards.
Looked like he's trying to get this ball out. Watch as he whips his head around, and he's got pressure right in his face. That's Tuioti. And then as he's trying to get that ball up, it just looked like it hit his hip, fell out of his hand. You wonder if there's still moisture in the field and if there's any moisture on the football after some of those snaps when the ball's been laying on the ground with all the rain that we got this morning.
So that makes it 2nd down and 28 at the 30-yard line for the Wildcats. Stone with the handoff. Hyman stretches it outside. Gets to the 40.
Tackle by 3rd, Johnson.
You don't have too many plays in the playbook designed for this long on 3rd down. I tell you what you don't want to do is expose Preston Stone to some sort of blitz. You would assume that it's going to be safe coverage. Now, this is why a screen pass in this situation would be so effective. It's safe. Maybe you can get yourself a few free yards, but I doubt they're going to be able to convert here.
3rd down and 19 at the 39. Stone pulls it down, and he'll go down. And that's your man, Joel.
Mateo Uyunglele. Last year was terrific. He's got 14.5 sacks in his career. Here's Uyunglele, and watch as he's going to get up the field and then the spin back. What a beautiful spin move. Gets that elbow back into the offensive tackle, and then he is right in the quarterback's face. No chance for Preston Stone.
Uyunglele, terrific talent and size, 6'5", 272. So Northwestern punts it away. Akers. This one, nice punt down at the 10. 4:52 to play in the second quarter. 55-yard punt. Dante Moore and company backed up deep. Tonight on Baseball Night in America, Kristen Yelich and the Brewers look to close in on the NL Central crown against the Cardinals. Tonight at 8 Eastern on Fox. Zip, Oregon. 4:51 to go here in the second quarter. Ducks beat Oklahoma State 63-3 in Eugene last week. Dante Moore threw for 266 yards, 3 touchdowns. First down and 10 at the 11.
Northwestern's done a great job today limiting those big plays. Longest play for Northwestern has been 16 yards.
Jade Lamar. They give it to him left. Oh. Some hard hitting going on. Lamar hard to get down. Let's check in with Jenny Fitzgerald with the tackle.
Couple Northwestern defensive injuries to keep an eye on, Gus. First, safety Garner Wallace. Been told he's questionable, but he is in street clothes, icing his right arm. Also, corner Josh Bussell is on the bike. He's got a significant brace on his right knee, so right now we'll have to see about his return.
I like that fat gold chain he has on.
Got a little money in their pocket.
That's right. Second down and 8 at the 13. And Lamar, he'll be tackled at the line of scrimmage. Great pursuit by this Northwestern defense. Aiden Hubbard, one of their leaders from Cleveland.
Hubbard is a really good player. And they knew that their defensive ends, Anto Saka on one side, number 4, and number 91, Aiden Hubbard, they were going to have to play huge today. And that's a big play on second down, forcing this longer third down situation.
Makes it third down and 10 at the 11. Dante Moore under pressure, guns in and caught at the 30-yard line. He put that one on a rope to Corian Moore. Gains 20.
Tell you, what a great route from Moore right here, but I thought it was the eyes of the quarterback. Moving the defense, and then he whips his eyes back to that right side, and he's able to deliver a strike.
Moore again to throw it, this time near side. Caught. And Malik Benson grabs 12. So back-to-back pickups of 20 and 12 yards for Dante Moore and the Ducks.
And those last 2 throws were indicative of what I was seeing on film. You know, when this guy is in rhythm, he's got an elite arm, and he's really accurate, Gus. And both of those throws were put on the money, first to Corian Moore, and then on the outside for a first down.
First down at the 43. And a timeout, Northwestern. 2:42 to play, second quarter. Oregon up 10-0, moving the football. Now it's time for the Aflac trivia question. Get help with expenses health insurance doesn't cover with Aflac. Who was the last coach to win 10-plus games in their first 4 seasons as head coach? I think I have an idea. You're not saying anything.
I think I have a decent idea.
Yeah, you know this. You always do. Well, for the sense of drama.
That's right. You taught me about drama last week. Building the suspense of the moment.
It is a production. First down and 10 at the 43. Jordan Davison. And he'll get to the line. All right, my guess, let's answer the trivia question. I'm going to say Ryan Day. No, Chip Kelly.
Did you know that? I would have actually, I was going to go Chris Peterson at Boise State.
Oh.
But Chip Kelly.
Chipper the Ripper with the Raiders now.
Ripper.
That's right. 2nd down and 9 at the 44.
Chip, get the ball to Brock Bowers.
Uh-oh.
He's really good.
Uh-oh. 2:05 and counting here in the second quarter. And that'll take us to the 2-minute timeout. 10-0 Oregon. Back to Evanston right after this.
Welcome back to Evanston. Oregon with the lead. Their point differential now plus 122 on the season. Rob, so with you coming up on the State Farm halftime. We'll show you how Bryce Underwood and Michigan are bouncing back. Alabama, hot start over Wisconsin. A lot of folks were worried about Clemson this week. Georgia Tech is showing why. Guys, highlights from around the nation coming up at the break.
You notice Rob always has his jacket off.
I was going to say, he rolls up his sleeve, and it's like, we get it, Rob. You work out.
All right, we got it, Rob. 2nd down and 9 at the 44.
He's staring up at us right now.
Dante Moore with time. Backpedals. Rolls. And steps out of bounds at the line of scrimmage. No gain.
They got away with a little bit of a hold there. Antosaka was coming in number 4. The excellent defensive end. He's 6'4", 250 pounds, and got turned around as Dante Moore was leaving the pocket. And again, though, this is a great opportunity for Northwestern. Watch Saka number 4. He's coming from your right side of the offense. And it looked like Alex Harkey as, maybe Ioli kind of grabbed him as he was getting into the backfield.
They'll give him 2. 3rd down and 8 at the 45. Jaden Lamar in the backfield. Moore steps up in the pocket, throws on the move across his body, completes it at the 35 to Malik Benson. 20-yard gain. Well done, Dante Moore.
Yeah, I love his pocket presence. Look at him scoot up in the pocket, keep his eyes downfield, and find a completion.
1st down.
Timeout, Northwestern.
And Northwestern calls another timeout. They have 1 remaining. Back after this. Oregon with a 10-0 lead with 1:36 to go here in the second quarter.
You're getting all these timeouts from David Braun for Northwestern because he's trying to steal a possession here. They deferred. They get the ball to start the second half. He's trying to steal a possession and get some points and then double up in the second half.
1st down at the 35. Moore starting to find a rhythm throwing the football. He'll hand it off this time to Lamar. Crosses the 30.
Lamar, the ball carrier.
Down around the 28, a 7-yard gain. Robert Fitzgerald defensively.
They're starting to run the football a little bit on this series. Time really not a factor for Oregon. 3 timeouts, 1:18 left.
And another handoff, not a lot. Jade Lamar. And Bastone defensively. We had a chance to sit and talk to Carmine. He wears that number 1. Electrical engineering major. That's a really good guy. Looks like he's cut out of a mountain. 3rd down and 2 at the 27. Former walk-on. Dante Moore wants to run it with some room. Dives forward. And he'll get inside the 25 for a 3-yard pickup.
Boy, he took a big hit there. Knocked the helmet off. And a bit slow to get up, and right away Luke Maga is going to jog onto the field, number 10. Watch as Moore, he's not going to get protected player protection for targeting because he's a runner. He goes head first, but you can see right away helmet pops off and he'll go to the sideline. Oregon called that last timeout to get Dante Moore back on the field, so you can save that player who would have had to, by rule, go over to the sideline because his helmet popped off. And so they called a timeout so they could keep him in the game and take this snap here on 1st down.
At the 24-yard line of Northwestern. Moore Fires. Caught. Touchdown. Kenyon Sadiq. 24 yards.
Tell you, this is just a great route. Watch, he's going to be working against the safety who drops down in man coverage. That's Robert Fitzgerald. He runs right by him. That's the speed and fluidity that we're talking about as a receiver split out. We've already showed you the toughness in the blocking game. That's what makes him so tough as a tight end and one of the best in America.
How many times did we see Brady to Gronkowski with that same play?
I will just tell you, as a quarterback, I think the best weapon you can have is a tight end that can really hurt the defense right through the seams, in particular in the red area, the scoring area, just like that. We saw it countless times. Gronk right down the middle of the field.
Extra point up and good. And Oregon takes a 17-0 lead. 11 plays covering 89 yards. Ducks eat up 420. Dante Moore putting the biscuit in the basket to the big fella. Duck with 17 push-ups coming up. That's because Oregon has taken a 17-0 lead over Northwestern with 31 seconds remaining here in the second quarter. And a Duck, he was just giving Jenny a hard time today. We're going to have to go down there, Joe, me and you, and body slam this guy.
That's right. He's playing rock, paper, scissors behind Jenny in rehearsal. We finally told her, we were like, Jenny, what's the Duck doing? And she looked around, she's like, I didn't even know.
Jenny doesn't need us. She can do that herself.
Yeah, she body
Look at him. He's out of shape. He's tired.
Yeah.
Already.
17? Can't be out of shape with 17. What did you do last week? 60 what? 69.
And this one kicked out of bounds.
Touchback.
Hey, here's our Good Hands moment sponsored by Allstate, celebrating 20 years of the Allstate Good Hands Nets program, and it's going to be Kenyon Sadiq. Great route. Look at that little shimmy right when he gets to the defender, the fluidity right there, and then he catches the ball right on his face mask for a touchdown. He's got good speed, Gus, and again, he might not be the size of a Rob Gronkowski, but that player right there, he makes Oregon such a more dynamic offense because it's not just the run game and throwing it on the outside. He can attack the middle of that defense, and we just saw it right there for a touchdown.
So Northwestern takes a knee, and they'll head into the locker room trailing 17-0. Cats will get the ball to start the second half.
A couple of unforced errors from Northwestern's, a couple of penalties that led them into bad situations. They had the turnover. Oregon capitalized, and Oregon's got to feel good about this lead.
Don't forget, after the break, join Rob and the boys for the State Farm halftime show right here from Evanston. 17-0, Oregon.
Hey, safe to say I'm the biggest, the largest. Been stepping up since my mama stayed in them apartments. Regardless, my daddy told me keep the heat even when I'm in foreigns. I'm heartless, cause these niggas is hating on me just because I'm the biggest, the largest, the biggest, the largest. 30K on my riches for hard times. These niggas just mad cause they...
Big News Saturday is sponsored by AT&T Business. Connecting changes everything. Welcome back to Martin Stadium here in Evanston. 17-0, Oregon leading the Wildcats as we head into the second half. Gus Johnson along with Joel Klatt. Now in that first half, Joel, slow start for the Ducks.
Yep.
But they managed to ratchet it up, and for Northwestern, they had some opportunities with those self-inflicted wounds.
Yeah, the early interception is what got Oregon going offensively. And if you look back, Northwestern had a quality series going. They come back out, and then it was the tip ball and Bryce Betcher with the interception. And all of a sudden, the Ducks offense started to come alive with the short field. They're able to get a touchdown from Jaden Lamar from 1 yard out. And then Dante Moore started to heat up, finding those bigger plays. Kenyon Sadiq right before half finds the end zone and leads them to that 17-0 lead.
All right, let's go downstairs and check in with Jenny.
Well, I had to start with that tight end, Kenyon Sadiq. Obviously, Coach Lanning was really happy with what he saw. You know, he told us earlier this week he may be one of the best tight ends he's ever seen. He said he is a warrior for us, leading this group. And as for Dante Moore, he said he is playing amazing. I love his decision making. His one criticism, really with the defense, they need to be able to stop the run. He talked to me about it after that first quarter. He said it needs to be better. Now for Northwestern, guys, David Braun's group was fired up leaving that locker room. Preston Stone, he said he has to calm down a bit. We are a couple plays away and obviously need to make those big stops on third down. But this Northwestern team, Gus, he told me they're not going anywhere.
All right, thank you very much, Jen. So the Wildcats will get the football to start the second half as we take a look at the first half stats.
Yeah, I think that the run stats for Northwestern are going to be not indicative of the way that they ran the football. A couple of those sacks on Preston Stone knocked them way back. So it looks like the Ducks defense totally dominated, but I'm with Coach Lanning. They needed to do a better job of stopping the run. And we'll see if Northwestern on this opening series of the second half can reestablish that run game, in particular on first down, to start getting themselves down the field.
So, second half underway. Joe Hyman is the deep man. Lets this one go into the end zone for a touchback. So what does Preston Stone have to do to relax a little bit and find a rhythm?
I think for Northwestern in general, but certainly Preston Stone more specifically, is that they've got to get into the right looks on first down. So you're going to put a lot on his shoulders mentally pre-snap. Because this is not a team that you're going to line up and just say, hey, we can just call whatever play and it can be successful against this team. So those are check with me plays, Gus, and trying to get into the correct look so that you either get a free look in the run game at what I would consider to be a light run box, one less defender, or an easy completion on the outside.
First down and 10 at the 25-yard line. For Northwestern, Caleb Kamalafe is the pistol back. They give it to him straight ahead. And he'll gain a couple. Jackson defensively for Oregon.
Something else that Northwestern needs to do is they've got to try to find Griffin Wilde, number 17. I told you that he was really their main target on the outside coming into this game. He had a catch on the first play and nothing since. They were trying to find him. That's what led to the tip ball interception, and they've been unable to find him ever since.
There he is. Wilde, South Dakota State transfer. 2nd and 8 at the 27. Kamalafe. We'll get to the 30. Maybe the 31, a gain of 3.
Well, now it's about trying to find a win in the passing game. It's too deep where you think that you're going to be 4-down territory, and even with the score. So you've got to find a win and the right leverage, and then this is where Preston Stone has got to be exquisite with his ball placement, his accuracy, making sure that these passes, in particular if he's going over the middle, don't float high.
3rd down and 5 at the 30. Stone underneath, caught, and a first down. Guess who? Griffin Wilde. 5 catches, 94 yards last week against Western Illinois.
Yeah, he had 6 catches the week before against Tulane, and here they just drag him across the formation and able to find him for, again, an easy completion, and then he's able to lunge forward for a first down. That's exactly what they needed to do. And then, Gus, this is a Wilde guy who I think is their most experienced guy.
2nd team All-American at South Dakota State. 1st down and 10 at the 38. Play fake. Stone underneath again. And it is incomplete. Dangerous throw. Covey, the target, and that one, it looked like it hung in the air for an eternity.
And our guy right there, the center fielder, he almost came down with it. Betcher, look who's diving in. Here's our guy. Ready? He's going to extend and almost out of his reach. Betcher, almost his 2nd interception of the day.
Brandon Finney with the tip. 2nd and 10 at the 38. And here's a handoff to Kamalafe. He'll sweep around the left side.
Caleb Kamalafe, the ball carrier.
Gains 5.
Good tackle there by Aaron Flowers. Came heavy downhill, number 21 for Oregon. Came flying down from his safety position. These safeties are getting a little bit more nosy. I guarantee you, Dan Lanning and Tasha Lapoy, the defensive coordinator, they were screaming at their defense the entire halftime. We got to stop the run. We got to stop the run. These safeties are getting very nosy and down closer to the line of scrimmage.
3rd down and 5 at the 43. Stone with time, sideline, nice ball and catch. Wilde again ran a sensational route. Got open and gains 9.
What I love about watching Wilde on film is that he does the things that a quarterback has to rely on. Number one, he's in the right spot in the right timing. There's the timing and spacing, beautiful throw by Preston Stone, but he also creates separation. Just that little bit of nudge at the top of the route that creates the space, and then he's a sure-handed guy and catches the ball well. Those 3 things are why quarterbacks love wide receivers.
Coaches told us yesterday they believe that Wilde has the potential to be a pro. 1st and 10 at the 49. Stone sidearm, got it off. Nice throw and a catch. Hunter Welsing with the grab this time, and it's a pickup of 7.
I'll tell you, that is really difficult if you're Preston Stone. Like, he comes off of this fake, and he's getting pressure in his face, and so he's got to try to flip his hips and shoulders right away. And look at, he dips down almost like he's a middle infielder on a baseball diamond. It's a baseball day here all of a sudden today.
We'll see.
He flips it out there.
We'll see Pat Mahomes tomorrow on Fox. That's a Pat Mahomes type throw. 2nd and 3 at the 42. Kamalafe, 1st down Northwestern. Look at him now. This is how they started the game in the 1st quarter.
Exactly right. And what did it start with then and is starting with now? That run game. And all the passing game comes off of that. Stone looks more comfortable. They're succeeding on 1st down. And you got to give a lot of credit to those guys up front. A guy like Caleb Tiernan, number 72, the left tackle. He's a Detroit guy. Went to Detroit Country Day out of Michigan. And he's a guy that could be a high-round draft pick. They're leaning on that offensive line, and those guys are doing a good job.
9th play of the drive coming up. 1st and 10 at the 35. And the handoff. Hyman outside with the room. Nice stutter step. Stays on his feet. Look at the Wildcats fighting back against the number 4 team in the nation.
I tell you, I love this pull by Jackson Carcello. Watch the center come out, and he's going to get a great block. He snaps the football. He comes out, gets a great block on the edge, and then it's a terrific read by the running back, Joseph Hyman. He's a little bit more of a scat back than his backfield mate, Kumalafe, and you can see that speed on the outside with a little shake on Thieneman.
2nd down and 3 at the 28. Hyman breaks a tackle, cuts it back, pushing forward, short of the 1st down. He gains 2.
They were trying to push him forward there. Deuce McGuire, the right tackle, number 73, was in there trying to push him forward. And Tasha Lapoy is certainly frustrated on that side. They struggled stopping the run a year ago. I thought it was the poorest part of their team. That was a really good team, number 1 in the country before they lost to Ohio State in the Rose Bowl. But Tasha Lapoy knows they need to be better in run defense, and they certainly aren't doing that so far here today.
3rd down and 1 at the 26. This drive started at the Northwestern 25. Stone. And Stone swarmed under. Tuioti gets to him.
Great pressure along the outside. You're going to get pressure out here. You get pressure from the middle of that defensive line. That's Tuioti right there. He's able to get in there. You've got Bear Alexander comes in late. David Braun knows those negative plays, man, those are killers. And look at this aggressiveness. David Braun's not messing around. There are teams that go out there to try to lose small. There are teams that try to win the game. This is a call right here. It's like, we're here to win. We're going for it on 4th and long.
4th down and 9 from the 34. Stone in trouble, gets it away. Incomplete. Wow. Amarazi hit him right in the hands. And Northwestern turns it over on downs. Wildcats moving the football. Can't pay it off. Tomorrow, a Fox NFL doubleheader starts with the Giants taking on Dak and the Cowboys. Russell Wilson now with the G-Men. Other regional action, then it's America's Game of the Week as Saquon leads the defending champion Eagles in a Super Bowl rematch against Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs. It all starts with a special 2-hour edition of the Fox NFL Sunday pregame show live from Kansas City, only on Fox. 1st and 10 at the 34 for Oregon. And here's Hill running down the sideline with a burst of speed. High stepping. Touchdown Ducks. 66 yards.
And just like that, a slow start. They only had 4 possessions in that first half. They didn't have any big plays until the last drive of the second quarter. They got 3 plays of 20 or more yards on that one. And then right out of the gate, look at Sadiq, our guy at tight end. He gets a block out there. Terrific job by Jordan Davison, the freshman, true freshman, running back number 0. He got a great block. And then there's Hill, the other true freshman, down the sideline.
Hill, his first carry of the game. He goes for 66 yards. And Oregon takes a 23-0 lead. Sappington in for the extra point. And it's good. 24-0. Oregon. Ducks starting to turn it on now. High gear in Evanston. (24-0). De'Aaron Hill Jr. And he's from around these parts, folks. Centralia, Illinois. 66-yard rushing touchdown. Longest play by an Oregon player since 2022, Bucky Irving. At 66 against North Carolina. Did we do that game? Was that the Holiday Bowl?
Was it the Holiday Bowl?
I think it might have been the Holiday Bowl.
Yes,
Bucky.
it was down in Petco Park.
That's right.
And that was a nice win for Oregon. That's when you and I became very enamored and impressed with Dan Lanning.
That's right. And impressed with Bucky Irving. And he's in the NFL right now. Let's go downstairs, check in with Jen.
Well, guys, we've been talking a little bit about Oregon's Bryce Betcher throughout the day. I thought it was hard to play one sport in college. How about 2? We've mentioned it, baseball and football. Dan Lanning calls him the lifeblood of the program. And get this, he actually walked on to both. The Houston Astros selected him in the 13th round of that MLB draft, July 2024. I asked him what he actually likes better, and he said, you know what, baseball, I have to work harder. I like the physicality and freedom of football. Mom prefers baseball. Dad likes football. Who knows what's next for Bryce? He's got options. And Joel, I know that you're impressed by this guy. If anyone knows how hard it is to play both, it's you. What do you make of it?
Oh, it's such different mentalities, you know, which I know he touched on with you, Jenny, but man, to be good at both sports at that high of a level, and here he is right here. Look at him. Do you see him fly in? That was 28. There's our guy, center fielder. Betcher flies in for the tackle. Gus, it's such a different mentality. I really struggled because I had more of a football mentality, which means when I went 0 for 3, I wanted to break everything in the clubhouse. But here he is coming downhill from that linebacker position. You can see he moves really well. You know, some guys, though, their mental makeup is a little bit more geared towards baseball. And, hey, like, everything's going to be all right.
Well, I grew up watching two guys that were great football players that ended up choosing baseball. Rick Leach and Kirk Gibson.
Yeah, Gibson was a great football player.
Incredible wide receiver. Second down, over the middle. Oh, Wildy. Another great route, another big-time catch. This time for 31.
I know it doesn't feel like it, down 24-0, but Wildy's going to kind of run in here from your right side over on the top of your screen. There he is, 17. Great route. Looks him off to the outside, creates the space.
First down from the 43. Preston Stone decides to run it. And you just get the feeling now that Northwestern offensively, they're just going to have to open things up.
Yeah, they really will. And what I was about to say is down 24-0, it doesn't feel like it. But, Gus, they've done some positive things on offense. What they've done, though, is they've hurt themselves with mistakes, whether it's a drop or a penalty, you know, the interception. These are the things that you can't do if you're going to upset the number 4 team in the country, and these are the mistakes that Northwestern has put themselves into today, down 24-0.
Second down and 4 from the 37.
Hyman. First down. Man, they've run it well. Look at these drive killers that we've had today for Northwestern. Their opening possession, they're lined up wrong on third down. That false starts, leads to a throwing down. They throw an interception. Then you got Preston Stone dropping the football. You got a fourth down drop.
First down at the 32. This one incomplete. Pressure. Uyunglele in the backfield.
I think Uyunglele is primed for a huge year. And here's why. Last year, this guy had 10.5 sacks in 11 games started for Oregon. And yet, they played a structure of defense where about 20 or 30% of the time, Tosh Lapoy, the coordinator, was dropping him into coverage because they were playing a 3-4. He's an outside linebacker. And this year they're saying, you know what, we're not going to do that. We're going to put him in a pass rush mode, and I think he could have a monster year because of it.
Second down and 10 at the 32. Over the middle and intercepted. Jerry Mixon still on his feet. What a move. What a run. Jerry Mixon goes down. 37-yard return. And the Ducks are in business again.
Well, here's Mixon as the linebacker. So he's the guy right here, and he's going to be defending the back, Joseph Hyman. And watch, he's just going to run the route for him. He stops right here, breaks on the ball before it's even thrown, and steps in front for the interception. Great reaction and anticipation. Second straight week with a pick. What a return for Oregon.
Second interception of the game thrown by Northwestern. Oregon will start first down and 10 at the Northwestern 35. Dante Moore has done a great job managing this game. 13 of 16, 125 yards, a touchdown, no interceptions. Empty backfield. Moore looking underneath, and it's caught. This time, Jamari Johnson, a nice move after the catch, and he'll get inside the Northwestern 25-yard line, an 18-yard gain.
He's not even their best tight end. He looks good too. My goodness. And another nice read, ball on time and on target from Dante Moore. Been impressed with him today. Not huge numbers, but very impressed with this young quarterback for Oregon. Remember, he went to Oregon after Dylan Gabriel had already transferred. So he went up there knowing he was going to sit last year. And I think that really helped him. He developed. They talked about how he's a gym rat, knows the offense inside and out, preps really well, and it shows.
Now they put Kenyon Sadiq in the backfield to block, and he delivers another nice block, which allows Jaden Lamar to gain 5.
Another versatile play. He can do everything.
I love this kid. This kid's something.
Last week, they snapped it to him as a Wildcat quarterback. Ran a little power play. That's the athleticism that he shows you. And again, the versatility. I was actually talking with Coach Lanning about how he reminds me a little bit, and Coach Lanning, of Brock Bowers at Georgia. And Brock actually crossed over 1 year with Dan Lanning when Dan was still there as a defensive coordinator for Georgia. They got Brock Bowers as a recruit, and that's who Sadiq reminds him of.
Second down and 5 at the 13. Moore near side on the money. This time McClellan. Nice move, dive. And looks like he stepped out of bounds before he made the leap.
Boy, he was fighting for those yards, and it looked like he was going to just elude those defenders, but they're the right foot clearly out at about the 3.5-yard line. Good call by the official right in front of him, and he knew it too. Look at him look back. He's like, I wanted that touchdown.
So that makes it first down and goal at the 4. Jordan Davison, 6-footer, 236 pounds. He's the power back. Moore, the fade in the corner, incomplete. Tyler Casper, the intended receiver. There is a flag.
Pass interference. Defense, number 2. The ball will be placed at the 2-yard line. Automatic. First down.
Fred Davis, call for interference.
I really love that they did this because, the one thing that I would look at their roster and say, their wide receivers aren't that big. You know, and you've got wide receivers around the country that are massive. Jeremiah Smith comes to mind. Kyler Casper could give them that size. Casper, number 3, is 6'6", 212 pounds, so trying to get him going with a little goal line fade.
First and goal. Touchdown, Oregon. Jordan Davison.
Good push up front. Watch this offensive line right here. They're going to get themselves going, and then here's the true freshman back. They've got a couple of them. We just saw the big run earlier from Hill, and right here, Davison is able to punch it into the end zone. Big back, 236 pounds, really good in short yardage. Easy touchdown, Ducks.
Ducks turning it on now. As Sappington comes in to attempt the extra point. And it's good. 4-play drive, covering 35 yards. 31 zip. $31-0. Oregon. 2:56 to play in the third quarter. Ducks. One thing you notice about them, it's balanced on all sides of the football.
Well, think of how many backs we've called today. Their backfield is the deepest in America by far. What is it, 7 guys can get carries? You know, I mean, it's impressive.
On the other side, Northwestern has shown some signs. They've been able to move the ball, but mistakes have been a problem. 14 points for Oregon off the 2 interceptions. First down to the 25 for the Wildcats. Preston Stone. Komalafe. He'll gain 3. Stopped by Offord.
Guy on the field right now for Oregon. You know that this means a lot. This is Theron Johnson. He's a transfer from right here. He's a transfer from Northwestern. He's 5th-year senior. He was 2nd-team All-Big Ten through the coaches and honorable mention from the media last year. 53 tackles, 3.5 tackles for loss, a couple of interceptions. He's been banged up a little bit. I think he's probably going to be their starter, but just getting him back and healthy has been a chore for Oregon. But right now, getting a chance to play against his former team.
When you're 2nd-team all-conference by the coaches, that means you can really play coming out of the Big Ten. And this ball incomplete, intended for Albright, and Kennedy in coverage.
One of the reasons why I've been bullish on this Oregon team this week is their depth. We talked about it just now about the running backs, and then now you got all these are mostly backups right now for Dan Lanning that are getting a chance to go play, or depth position, and he wouldn't call them backups. And the reason he wouldn't call them backups is because they're talking about strength in numbers. I believe Jenny talked about that at the beginning of the game. And they know that they're going to need a lot of guys to play and rotate in order to go try to win this thing. And their depth is, I think, a real strength.
3rd down and 7 at the 28. Stone. Incomplete. Looking for Wilde again. He had his hands on it. Jadon Kennedy looks like he kind of knocked that ball out of his hands. Let's take another look.
Yeah, I think he's getting away with a grab right there. That could have been a flag right there, and then he tries to get away from it, and then contact to the face before the ball even arrives. Letting him play on the outside. That certainly could have been a pass interference right there, but Kennedy gets away with it. Transfer from Ole Miss, and it's another punt for the Wildcats.
Luke Akers at his own 14. Gary Bryant at the 25. Bryant backpedals. He'll get a shot from the 20. And Bryant taken down as he crosses the 25. Let's go downstairs and check in with Jenny.
Well, there's so much when it comes to Dante Moore, Gus. We've been talking about his story. I know you feel about him given his Detroit roots, but how about this? He's also an accomplished author. From Journey to Dream, a children's book. This is such a special book. I was thinking to myself how excited I am to one day read this to my daughter, Gigi. It's all about the struggle and fighting for it and having a dream and chasing it. And what I think is so unique about this quarterback for the Ducks, I talked to so many players about him. You know what they all start with? He is a better person off the field than player on it. He is humble, he is hardworking, and wow, he has won over this Ducks team.
No doubt about it. I've been covering sports for a long time. First time I've seen a college kid write a children's book. And I had a chance to read the book. Folks, just some wonderful, wonderful, positive messages for kids coming from Dante Moore. First down 10 at the 28. And oh, by the way, he can play a little bit, I would say.
I was going to say, guy is a heck of a player, too.
Not bad. Here's a handoff. Hill Jr. again after that big 66-yard touchdown. Let's take a page out of that book, folks. Maybe Dante will let me be the audio voiceover guy. From Journey to Dream. Dante knew that he had to be a team player if he wanted to be great. He encouraged his teammates, shouting words of support from the sidelines and always making sure to give them credit. He believed that he couldn't be great without them. You guys make me better. There you go. That's what I'm talking about. Second down at 11 at the 27. Moore pulls it out, throws on the move. Oh my goodness, what a throw. Malik Benson, you guys make me better.
Oh my goodness. Well, Benson's got to say that to the quarterback. Because that was a great throw. Listen, again, I know the numbers aren't going to blow you away, but it's just the little things that you see. His pocket presence. He clearly understands the offense. His leadership is impeccable. His humility and hunger to be great. And then the ball placement and anticipation. You can't teach some of those instincts. Man, he is a good player.
First down and 10 at the 46. Here's the pitch to Harris. Gets his shoulders square and is chopped down.
You know, Gus, there's a decent to good chance that a third straight Oregon Duck quarterback winds up in New York as a finalist for the Heisman Trophy. We had Bo Nix a couple of years ago, Dylan Gabriel last year. I think number 5 is certainly on that trajectory.
Second down and 3 at the 39. Will Stein, the offensive coordinator, said Dante Moore has a chance to be the best quarterback I've ever seen.
And that's saying something.
End of the quarter coming up. End of the third with the score. Oregon 31, Northwestern nothing. Coming up the fourth and final quarter from Evanston after this. Big News Saturday is sponsored by AT&T Business, connecting changes everything. What a day it's turned out to be, folks. Here in Evanston, Illinois, it was raining cats and dogs earlier, but the sun has come out, and so have the Oregon Ducks. Fourth shutout in 3 quarters under Dan Lanning. And the criticism of Oregon, if it was anything to criticize, was that they might not be big enough making the transition into the Big Ten. That's all changed now.
Yeah, and I think that's a credit to Dan Lanning. And he knew that when he took the job there, even when they were still in the Pac-12.
Play action, Dante Moore goes for it all.
Oh, pick.
And intercepted inside the 5. Mac Uline went up and got it.
That's a great play by Mac Uline. Not a good throw from Dante Moore. He's going to go right down the middle of the field. Here's Uline. He's the middle linebacker. And he's going to go right down the middle of the field. And he's able to just jump in front of that pass. It was underthrown to DeGory and Moore. And Uline, the beneficiary of that poorly thrown ball. We've been singing the praises of Dante Moore until that ball. Mac Uline does a great job.
And that was his first position. And that was Moore's first interception of the season.
That's one of the things that's interesting, just the technicalities. That's what David Braun brought to Northwestern. That's the Tampa 2. Tampa 2 meaning it's a cover 2 defense, and then the Mike linebacker, the middle linebacker, runs right down the middle of the field like the old Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
On first down, here's Kamalafe. And I want to give you a compliment. You have been doing such a great job of explaining this complex stuff to my mom.
You taught me that.
Yeah.
I used to use those terms, you know, and you would look at me and be like, what does that mean? You know, so this is what I was talking about. So watch. So here's a safety right here, and he's going to get off the ball this way, and then this is the middle linebacker who's going to run right down the middle of the field. And so you see that player has a half. He's got cover 2, and the middle linebacker runs right down the middle in between the 2 safeties. So it's an illusion. The quarterback at times can thinks he has a lot of space in the middle, Gus, but then that middle linebacker can run right down the middle and take it away. The guy who I thought was the best, I know Tampa made it great, but the best middle linebacker I ever saw play that Tampa 2 coverage was right here in Chicago, Brian Urlacher. He was so fast and tall, and he could defend the run and then still had the speed to turn and run straight down the middle of the field. It's what made those Lovie Smith teams so good here in Chicago is Brian Urlacher in the middle.
So Tampa 2, does that mean 2 safeties in the middle?
2 safeties. They defend half of the field, and they spread wide and allow the middle linebacker to run right down the middle and defend the middle of the field.
Yeah, I can hear my mom saying, I understand that. Here's a handoff to Kamalafe, and he will not pick up the first down. Nice defense. Ashton Porter, no gain on the play. That brings up 4th down and 1. Let's see what Northwestern elects to do. Looks like they're going to
stay on the field here.
Stay on the field.
Well, he started aggressive, and he's going to maintain that aggressiveness. I think this is more a message to his team. Like, I'm not going to allow you to just walk out of here and hang your head. You know, get in there, fight, and scrap for 60 minutes.
4th down and 1. Kamalafe in the backfield. Can he get it? No, he will not. Too much pressure up the middle. Led by Peyton Woodyard. And Northwestern turns it over on downs deep in their own territory.
Just too much talent, too much size. I've been talking about that size in the middle for Oregon, but candidly, I didn't think that they, and I think Dan Lanning would back me up on this, I didn't think they defended the run great today. But when you look in see those big bodies in the middle? That's what I was talking about. Amari Washington, 330 pounds. Tion Gray, 336. Bear Alexander, number 1, 6'3", 302 pounds. Hard to move those guys when they're in there in the middle. And they certainly showed it on that 4th down. Here's those guys in the middle. I didn't even mention Terrence Green. He's in the depth as well. Look at the size. That's different to Oregon. Partner, you and I have been calling Oregon Ducks games for a while. That's different. They did not have that size as now we see a new quarterback.
Luke Moga in at quarterback. Red zone opportunity. Jamari Johnson with the catch. I'll tell you, after watching Ohio State against Texas, first game of the year, now watching Oregon. If those two have a chance to meet up this season, interesting.
And think about this conference. That's not even to mention Penn State.
That's right.
Who's also a great team. And this Oregon team will see Penn State in just a few weeks in what will be a monster game.
Monster. 2nd down and 5 at the 7. Here's a handoff. Davison. Aiden Hubbard with the tackle.
I get the sense, speaking with Dan Lanning this week, that he's almost excited for his team to face some adversity. You know, because to be honest, it's been fairly easy. Even though they've had times today where they've had to struggle through or slog through it against Northwestern up 31-0. You know, real adversity, being down on the road, he's certainly going to face some of that adversity when they go out to Happy Valley, and they got to play that Penn State team in front of a wideout.
Here's Moga to throw it on 3rd down in the corner, incomplete. Casper the target. That brings up 4th down and 5. A lot of substitutes getting opportunities to play now for the Ducks, up 31-0. Start of the 4th. As Sappington comes in to attempt the field goal.
I gotta say, that's a pretty good kicker name.
Atticus.
Atticus Sappington.
Absolutely right. He's already made one from 42 yards, this one from 25. He's from Portland. And it's good. 34-0. Ducks rolling.
Pacific Life game summary is sponsored by Pacific Life.
Did you see that?
You thought it was coming out.
Whale.
Building confident futures for nearly 100.
That boat was in trouble.
Oh, I can't. Yeah. Dominant Ducks. Oh, I thought you were serious.
You see that boat? That whale came out there, man. Scared me too, like this guy.
They're killing me.
Uh-huh. You know, when I was a kid, we used to go ice fishing. And we're at Camp Drusilla Farwell. And one thing you got a chance to do if you had courage was to be in the Polar Bear Club. You know what that is?
Yeah, you jump in.
Yeah, but we were boys. You have to jump in your birthday suit.
No.
That's right. And then you get a certificate and everything. I did that when I was 8 years old.
Oh, let's hope you got close before you took a picture with your certificate.
That's right. It was cold out there, boy. Polar Bear Club. That's a Midwest thing. That's a Midwest thing, eh?
I wish you guys at home could have seen Gus jump when the whale came.
It looks so real.
I'm sorry.
I don't think they have whales in Lake Michigan.
No. Woo. Whales have to pay a tariff too.
That's right. Michigan Whales, first down and 10 at the 25.
Oh, man.
34-0. Stone pulls it down, wants to run it, needs to get down, and he does. Looks like he picks up the first down.
Might be wondering, like, wait, you know, why wouldn't David Braun go with his backup quarterback? Well, Preston Stone is new to this offense, so these reps are actually really important. You got 11 minutes of game reps. You know, they turned the ball over too many times against Tulane. That led to their loss against Tulane. They lost that one 23-3. Played well last week, and then a few mistakes and turnovers here today. Yeah, let it get away from them. So these reps are important to put on film and to learn from.
On first down, Hyman. And he'll gain 4 on the play.
David Braun has, I think, a team that, if everything is going right, which has to be the case generally for the good Northwestern teams, you know, they've got some pieces, but they will not be able to overcome turnovers this year. He knows that. That's his main message to his team. Led to the loss against Tulane. Certainly led to this one getting out of hand. So they've got to find a way to take care of the football a lot better moving forward.
On second down and 6, Hyman again, and he'll pick up a first down. They've been able to move the ball on the ground.
Yeah. It's one of two things. Either Oregon's not quite as good in run defense as they need to be, or Northwestern has a quality run game. It might be a little of both. I think Northwestern certainly would move out of this game and start to really lean on that. 94 rushing yards. But remember, in college, that includes those sacks. You know, so that's over 100 yards, really true rushing yards from the backs against this Oregon team, which is not a bad day.
First down at the 47. And Hyman. And he'll get inside Oregon territory. Bear Alexander, the Georgia and USC transfer, now playing at Oregon with the tackle.
Just, again, gives them so much depth in there. He's a guy that, you know, he'll play and start in their 3-down lineman look. If they don't have 3 interior offensive linemen, or excuse me, defensive linemen on the field, then he's a depth guy for them. Can provide a lot of energy. I think that's going to be the main thing for them, is that they're going to be able to stay fresh on their defense during the course of the year.
Second and 6. Play fake. Stone steps in down the field. Oh, and it's caught. This time, Drew Wagner.
Well, this one hung up in the air, kind of slipped out of Stone's hand, and it allowed Wagner to go up and just slow up just a bit and high point it. Look at, he jumps up in front of the corner right there. That's the true freshman, Naeem Offord. Offord was a 5-star corner, number 3 corner in the class, a top 20 player overall, coming in from Birmingham, Alabama. They pulled him right from under Kalen DeBoer in the Tide, and Offord gives up a big completion there.
A gain of 40. Hyman, and And he's swarmed under. Well defended, Jerry Mixon. He's been playing his heart out today. An interception, now a tackle for a loss of 5.
Yeah, you know, they track, it's called havoc plays. You know, turnovers, tackles for loss, sacks, tip balls, things of that nature. Jerry Mixon had a pick 6 last week against Oklahoma State. He has an interception today. That's a big tackle for loss here in the low red zone. So Jerry Mixon is going to be showing up a lot on that havoc sheet for the coaching staff of the Oregon Ducks.
2nd down and goal at the 14. Stone. And incomplete. That ball thrown high.
Stone's pass is incomplete.
Hayden.
Intended for Hayden Elegon.
Elegon, the intended receiver. And that brings up 3rd and goal.
Dakota Fields on the coverage.
Just every one of these guys in the secondary, freshman, redshirt freshman, that's Dakota Fields. He played at J. Sarah, which is a private school down in Orange County, California. 6'2", 200 pounds. The length, Gus, of all these guys. These are backups, these length players out there.
3rd down and goal. Here's a screen, near side, Hyman squares. Oh, and he almost got in. But I think they're gonna spot the ball inside the 1. Mixon with the tackle.
Look at this tackle from Mixon. Hyman puts a good move right there, but Mixon just stops him dead in his tracks and keeps him from going into the end zone. Did he reach that ball? I think he might have reached out. Depends on whether his rear end had touched the turf before he reaches out that left arm.
I don't think he got there in time.
I don't think he did. Jerry Mixon's going to start starring in those Allstate commercials.
I tell you
Havoc
what.
Man.
How about that? 4th down and goal at the 1. They're going for it. Here's the handoff straight ahead. And touchdown, Northwestern. Kamolafe.
It's exactly what you want to see if you're David Brom. Keep the starters in the game. Preston Stone leads his team right down the field. And Komolafe is able to punch it into the end zone for the touchdown. Something to build on. Again, those reps, put it on film. Go ahead and evaluate it. Get yourself better, develop. That's exactly what that series was all about here in the 4th quarter.
A positive sign for Northwestern, finally getting on the board with 6:20 to go here in the 4th quarter. Extra point up and good. 9-play drive covering 75 yards. Wildcats eat up 4 minutes and 30 seconds to finally get on the board. 34-7. Welcome back, 34-7. Northwestern punching one in. 6:20 to go here in the 4th quarter. Oregon ready to receive. Jaden Lamar back deep. And it's fair call. Oregon, they used 77 players in their opening week win over Montana State. 81 last week against Oklahoma State. Today, who knows? Everybody getting a little burned.
Here's a look at our reliable performer, sponsored by AT&T Business. Reliability that you can count on. You can certainly count on Kenyon Sadiq, both as a blocker and as a receiver at tight end. Numbers won't blow you away. 2 catches, 35 yards, and a touchdown, but just love to see him in his detail and his effort in the blocking game. Look at that tenacity, putting a defender on his back, and still has the skill to get right down the seam and catch a touchdown. Kenyon Sadiq, certainly a great player.
So on 1st down, they run it with Hill Jr. Brock Thomas has come in now at quarterback for Oregon. There's Sadiq. The sky is the limit for this kid.
Yep. in this offense. You know, for a play caller, that's incredible. Like Will Stein, the offensive coordinator, to have a guy as versatile as Sadiq, like that just opens up so many things that you can do.
Thomas underneath.
Brock Thomas's pass is complete.
Will Stein, in his third year as the Oregon offensive coordinator, replaced, of course, Kenny Dillingham, who took that ASU job. Stein came from UTSA and, again, had a background calling high school football, but really cut his teeth at Louisville and was an older player when a young guy named Teddy Bridgewater walked into the building and watched him grow, and then became a GA at Louisville for an offense coordinator named Sean Watson, happened to be the same offense coordinator I played for. So I've known Will for a long time. I know that how he was taught the game, how he sees the game. And he's a guy that has done an incredible job here at Oregon. How about this, Gus? The Ducks are #1 in scoring offense since he became coordinator here at Oregon. 41 points per game. They're also #1 over that span in yards per play at 7.2. And they're also #1 in turnovers. Only 18 in the 30 games that he's been the coordinator.
3rd and 7 at the 41. Thomas. Nice throw. Great catch. Kyler Casper with the reception. And that's a first down. What makes Stein so good in terms of the way he calls the plays or sets things up?
Well, #1, he understands foundational principles. He understands how to run the football and do it well with the counter play, outside zone, do all these different concepts. You don't need to know what those are, but he also understands how to attack a defense with deceptive looks. And Coach Meyer did a great segment on Big Noon Kickoff earlier today about the deceptive nature of this offense and what makes it so difficult to defend. And so it's his ability to both take the basic and attack you with the basic fundamentals, but then also the deceptive and force you to really think on the field. It puts the defense in a tremendous amount of conflict on a snap in and snap out basis. And I think that's what he does a really good job of.
Can you imagine Coach Stein's offense against Matt Patricia's defense at Ohio State?
Oof, I'd love to see that. Or Jim Knowles' defense at Penn State, which we'll see in a couple of weeks, obviously. This team is certainly going to get tested on the road. But I do know this.
What do you think about Illinois?
I think Illinois is pretty dang good. They're going to get a nice test when they go play Indiana. But I think Illinois is a really good football team.
Over the middle, deflected and complete. So let's take a look at Oregon's upcoming schedule, if we can. There you go. Partner.
That Oregon State team, unfortunately, not very good. Penn State, though, man, I tell you what, on the road, that environment will be crazy. Certainly a difficult environment. Dante Moore has seen difficult environments in the past. As a true freshman, he started for UCLA when they played Utah on the road in Salt Lake. But that wideout is something different now. And they'll have their hands full. And also, I would just say, like, Penn State really runs the ball well with those two backs. You and I have covered those two backs.
Allen, Nick Singleton.
For a long time. And they got 4 offensive linemen back from a year ago. And the Duck is going to have to be a lot more attentive in that game than he is right now, sitting over there reading the book. Why doesn't he have Dante's book? What's up with that?
You know, I heard you can't get Dante's book in Eugene at the bookstore.
Why?
That's what I heard.
Fourth Wing.
Fourth Wing. What's that about?
I have no idea. Can someone tweet at me? What is the Fourth Wing?
He should be reading From Journey to Dream. This one kicked away.
Why can't you get the book in Eugene?
That's what I heard. You can't get the book in the bookstore. One of our colleagues, Doc, lives in Eugene, and he said he went all around trying to find the book in Eugene and couldn't find it. From Journey to Dream, Eugene.
So wait, you trusted Doc? All right. Apparently, folks, you can't get the book in Eugene.
Okay. Wow. They call him Mr. 4000. 3:01 to go, fourth quarter.
What do you think of Oregon today?
I thought Oregon played well. They did what they were supposed to do, almost effortlessly, but Northwestern made a number of mistakes, self-inflicted wounds. But this Ducks team they were one of the best teams last year, and looks like they're going to be one of the best teams this year too. I think they're a stone's throw away.
Yep. This is the most talented Oregon team that I've seen. They've had good teams, don't get me wrong. Played for a national championship. They've had a Heisman Trophy winner. But if you look at the overall roster, they have this thing called the talent composite, which basically rates how talented is your entire roster based on recruiting rankings and other things of that nature. Nice completion there on the outside. But Gus, you know, even going back to some of those former Oregon teams, you know, they had a talent composite around 10, 9, good, right? Yeah, 9th best in the country. This team is a top 5 talent composite team. And it's been a long time since Oregon has been up in that rarefied air.
A lot of support for this Oregon program, especially from Uncle Phil. He wants to get his national championship under his belt. 2 minutes remaining. 34-7. Ducks. That's pretty good this year, Jim. I hear Texas Tech has a good team.
Yeah, really good team. They built the roster in the offseason, invested in the roster with Joey McGuire. And Gus, that Utah team is very good. Stout up front.
And here's a big run. Reeder trying to get to the end zone. Still on the move. Touchdown! Northwestern, 79 yards. Deshaun Reeder, freshman from Greer, South Carolina.
We've been telling you that they've run the football pretty effectively all day long, and here you're just going to get a nice crease, and look at him just get skinny and get through that offensive line, and then shows impressive speed down the sideline to take it the distance. Got to keep himself in, and he does. What a great job by Reeder.
So Northwestern trying to make this a 34-14 game with 1:48 to go. Extra point, Olsen, good. 79-yard run, 3 plays covering 91 yards. A lot of attaboys going on right there as Deshaun Reeder, the freshman, gallops 79 yards to pay dirt. Now line up on the kickoff team.
He had such a good high school career, so he's a redshirt freshman. Gus, he ran the ball for 4,500 yards in his career in high school and 79 touchdowns, and takes it the distance there. What a great carry. And now right back out on the kick team. I love it. Hands team probably, right? I mean, you probably got to go onside here.
Let's see. Now they'll kick it straight away. And this went into the end zone for a touchback. (34-14) our score. Oregon kind of called off the dogs after a certain point. No penalties since at least 2000. No penalties today. That's a big stat right there. Talk about discipline on the road.
That's the type of attention to detail that Dan Lanning wants. I don't think that surprises us after we talked to him, you know, that he's got that level of detail. But I would just say I can't believe we did that to him. Our graphics team did that. There's 1:48 left.
That's bad luck, eh?
Yeah.
We'll see. I don't know. These guys are pretty good. Hill. And Hill, a flag coming up.
What did I just say? What did I just say?
Oh, gosh.
What did I just say?
If this is against Oregon.
You don't talk about a no-hitter, guys.
Goodness gracious.
Personal foul, face mask, defense,
Oh,
number 2.
Away with it. I thought it was going to be a
penalty
hole.
from the end of the run, automatic, first down.
Man.
So Oregon still keeping a clean sheet.
Okay, yeah, there you go. As he's being blocked right there, that was Davison blocking him, and he's putting the hand up in the face. I thought they were going to get the hold when the flag came out. That just left the whole truck, by the way. Our whole production truck was like, oh, thank goodness.
Oh, my goodness. We jinxed him. A minute and 35 to go. First down at the 43. Thomas still in at quarterback. Make that Moga as he returns.
Jericho, the ball carrier. Back by Brandon Turner.
This Northwestern team has a couple of imminently winnable games coming up for them. UCLA has not looked great, so they're going to face UCLA as their next opponent.
After the bye week, which is this coming week.
Got Louisiana Monroe. They got a very tough one against Penn State. Then Purdue. So if they can continue to improve, take some of the good things that they did in this game and multiply them, get rid of some of those mistakes, I think this is a team that could easily be in and win a lot of those football games.
So the final score from Evanston will be 34-14. Dan Lanning's team travels across the country. It makes it look easy. And our Jenny Taft is downstairs with Coach.
Well, Coach, congratulations on the win. I kept thinking about what you told us, strength in numbers, something you and this group live by. How pleased were you with the performance top to bottom?
I got a little sour taste in my mouth with the way we ended, right? We got to be able to win the fourth quarter, but ultimately, I saw some good play. There's going to be some stuff we can build off of.
Feeling you were going to say that, but I do want to ask about your quarterback. Look, you describe him as someone who's a great football player, but a better person. That's what everyone says. How high is his ceiling for Oregon?
Yeah, it's unbelievably high, right? We go with the quarterback. We got a really good one here.
You mentioned to us you want adversity. Was this enough adversity for this team to learn from today?
We got some stuff we can learn from, for sure. We got some stuff we can learn from.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you.
All right, your final thoughts, Joel Klatt.
Well, you can hear it in Dan Lanning's voice. I don't think he was very happy with the way they played, but I got to tell you, he's got a talented team. This team certainly has the makings of one that can make a deep run in the college football playoff.
Dante Moore, another successful day. Final score, 34-14 Oregon. We will have more college football from Rob and the guys after this break.